Hi, guys. Welcome. So, all of you guys that are on have a team. Congratulations. If you are new or if you are been in this for a while, I want to tailor it to everyone. And I want to give some really helpful feedback. I've been in this business now 11 and a half years. And when I first started, I really did see it as a business, and not everyone sees it as a business. I get that. But if you treat it like a business, it will pay you like a business. So, whatever you want out of this, know that it can be big or small. And like when Shallon started, my friend who got me involved, she didn't even want a team. She wanted free product. And some people start because of that. So, and that was always kind of almost even a hard pill for me to swallow because I started for the business. So, of course, like I viewed it as a business, but not everyone does. And so I think just always meeting them where they are. And even if like you have one brand partner and you're like, I want to get, two more or three more, whatever. Um, just remember like your goals are not possibly what everyone's goals are. So I want to kind of share with you guys the being an entrepreneur. Honestly, we are entrepreneurs, okay? So we can do whatever we want to do with this business. But what I have learned in the 11 and a half years of being in this business is that, and being an entrepreneur, is that you're continuously growing yourself. Because how are you supposed to lead someone, or how are you supposed to train someone if you're not doing the things, if you're not plugging in yourself, all of those things. So you're continuously learning and growing, and then you're sharing it with your team. So I want to go through, there we go. So let's see if I can read this. Why is it up here? Okay. So lead yourself first. So just creating those habits, like I said, I started thinking, I want to make this a business. I want to make this a six-figure career. So I treated it like a business. I woke up and looked at my calendar. Well, if you plan the day before the day begins, you wake up and your schedule's already there and you go, okay, these are the times I'm working. And some people don't have that luxury. I get it. Some people just really do fit it in their cracks. It's up to you, but for me, it was like, even if I was fitting it in the cracks, like driving to work, that's fitting it into the cracks, right? But I was intentional with what I was going to listen to, what I was going to do during that hour to work. Um, so just building your schedule, creating the habits, building your team always. Like you could have a team of three and you think you're rocking and rolling, which you are. But that team that gets you to one rank will not be the team that gets you to the next rank, which someone told me that at the beginning, and I did not believe them. I did not understand that concept, but it is true. It's always changing and evolving, just like a Starbucks is. People quit, people get promoted or rank up, and people are horrible leaders, or people aren't going to be there for you. All of the things that happen in corporate America or at a Starbucks, those things happen in this business, and it's just so you already kind of know that going into it. And just always stay plugged in. Like I said, keep learning, keep growing, keep being inspired, because as a baby brand partner, getting them on different calls can truly be so inspiring. And so the moment they get on a regional and they're inspired, they'll never miss a regional. The moment they go to conference, they'll never miss conference, because those moments, staying plugged in, is like fire. It is like literally you're putting gasoline on your fire. So, leading with vision. So, we know that you're supposed to know your why, and what are you personally dreaming of, and why does that matter? But it's so important to really share your vision and share with your team, with your family, that people want to be inspired by you. And that was a hard concept for me, especially as I became a leader. I didn't think I was doing anything special. I was just following the system. I worked, and they go, I want what you have. How do I get that? I'm like, you've got to work and you have to share with them why you're working, what fuels you, why you're doing what you're doing. And those stories, I remember at the beginning too, like those stories hearing from leaders, of how they got started or why they got started or all the things, it truly inspired me. And I was like, dang. I remember Mary Chipper really, really early on. I might have just got my car bonus or I hit executive director at the time. It probably would have been premier director. But anyway, I remember her saying she got a $16,000 check. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. But you never know. Like for me, I came from a sales background, so I'm very motivated by nice things. Bonuses, trips, cars, all those things. And so, like, getting to know your team, what probes them, what gets them fired up, why are they doing this? Going back to their why. I thought you said you wanted to, new, roof, whatever. I thought you said you wanted to pay for your daughter's cheerleading. Like all of these things, you can go back to them and use their why and just keep dreaming big and inspiring people with the big picture because this truly is an entrepreneurial dream. We don't have any overhead. We don't have to do anything. So just kind of continuing on with that vision. So leading with heart, um, care about their goals. So as a leader, I noticed early on that, people would say something like, "Well, I got to get this rank. You need to get your three customers." And stuff like that. Like it's always about like what is in it for them. Never saying I need this for so you need to hit that so I can get this. And then just, celebrating their wins. So many people in their corporate day jobs, they do not get celebrated for anything they do. This has always been the fun job, and this always will be my fun job. Celebrating people is one of my favorite things of this job, recognizing them for all their good works and just really lifting them up because people need that. They just never get it. So they will be attracted to that and be like, oh my gosh, this is so much fun, right? And then lead people, not just goals and rank up. So people grow a team by growing people. So it's leading with your heart. That's why conference is so magnetic because you lead with your heart. You show up, everybody shows up, and you're growing a team, you're growing a culture, you're growing a vision, and it's different than just growing by rank and just that kind of status stuff. Um, then we have, okay, keep growing. So, kind of the personal development thing. Again, all of these things I did not know much about, and I didn't even know that I had it. I never like, and I don't know if it's my sales background or what, but it's just that no doubt attitude of I can and I will. And if you do not have that belief and that inspiration, that is when you need to keep learning. And I still need to keep learning, obviously, and I still grow. But that attitude of just doing the dang thing and not letting anyone stop you and knowing with all that that this is for you. This was made for you. You did get into this business for a purpose and you do have a purpose and it is just there and just having that belief. So listening to calls to get that inspiration, listening to personal development, surrounding yourself with other people. So we have such a large, amazing organization, really Jen Givens down. There are so many people that I talk to that are not in our team. They're like on Shallon's team in another leg. All of those people like teach me things that they're doing with their team or that I could do and just kind of collaborating and being not workout partners, but just really getting to know people and letting them stretch and listening to different calls and stuff. Follow the system because it's duplicatable. And as you continue to grow, you are going to want a duplicatable system, believe me. And then what you do, they will do. What you do, share it with your whole team. Verbiage, success, all the things. Um, I know Melody's on this call and she does a great job of that. I'm on a text message thread with her and her team, and she's sharing with them, oh my gosh, this is what's working for me. This is what I'm doing. Here's some verbiage for you to do too. All those things, like kind of spoon feeding them to success because they don't know. They're baby brand partners. Um, Take action. You do not want to, and no one thinks they're leaders, right? No one's like, oh, I was born to be a leader. And if you did, that's amazing. And you have something to share with the world. But a lot of people, they don't feel ready to lead. They don't feel like they're worthy. Really, like me, I can lead people. And it's not just about leading, it's being yourself, and it is sharing what you do that's successful. That is what a leader is. It's inspiring people to get up and do something and have fun with it. And I've always been a mind mentality of this business is fun. So I always just have fun with it. And that is, you have your own team dynamic and your own team energy and culture. But like, just whatever you want to get out of this, pass that on and just be who you are and be imperfected. You're not going to be perfect. Look before at the leader you want to become. Yes, vision it. So if you do want to become, an NMD and you have a huge team underneath you, what does that look like? Can you truly vision that? Can you see it happening? How do you want to be? What does your team look like? That vibe, all of that. That's something that if you see it and visualize it, it comes to fruition. It's manifesting. It is amazing. And it is something that truly, truly works. And then just set the pace. Leaders go first. They do what you're doing. If you're recruiting, they're recruiting. And this is so true. If you're posting on social media, they're posting on social media. So it's just kind of leading the pack. Leaders build others. So don't build followers, build leaders, empower them to figure it out. So this is a hard concept for a lot of people because we want to have control. I know that's not a pretty word, but it's like, oh, they have to do it this way because this is the way that it's right. And and yes, completely like follow the system, get that. But at the same time, letting them figure out things like don't answer every single question. Like when they're like, "Hey, I can't find that flyer." Be like, "Hey, it's in the Go Prospect app." That's it. They can find that stuff. So kind of like almost like training them to become leaders themselves. Share the spotlight, celebrate their wins more than your own. I kind of went over that and create a culture of growth, encouraging risk taking, learning, and leadership. So that's the kind of same thing, like just encouraging leaders. So, like when you start to have a team that has a team, okay, that's where this comes involved. It's like, okay, I have my team, everything's great. I can talk to them easy, right? You're like, I got this figured out. I got 3 or 4 brand partners. I can talk to them. The next step is them having a team. And if you don't build those leaders, then you will have to do all of the work. And that it caps you at a certain level because you can't do all the work. It's like nearly impossible and it will overwhelm you, it will stress you out, and you won't want to do it. So just starting by building those leaders at an early stage of kind of leading the way. And honestly, it could be a call like this. So this is how I kind of started. As I started growing and growing, I just started training. Like this is kind of that's the bigger picture as you get bigger and bigger. So you guys know some basic things, but I want to put this out there in case you want to screenshot it. Some simple steps after signing up a brand partner is definitely get them in Habits House. That is awesome training. And then there's a fast milkshake link that you can have on your phone that you can always send to new brand partners. Welcome them into the groups. That is part of this culture and atmosphere is that team camaraderie, and then encourage them to keep Go Prospect. That is really truly like our business builder. It's $30 a month, but at the same time, it's all tax write-off. And it's just an easy tool for them to start again becoming self sufficient, right? You want to get them self sufficient, and that is an easy tool to have. Give them that new brand partner sheet, which that is in Habits House. You can save it and they can put it in their phone and they can print it off. I send it welcome calls to all of the new brand partners and attach that. And then sponsor checklist. If you do not know what to do, there is a checklist in Habits House to kind of guide you into those next steps. Helping them get started the best. So if you definitely have some runners that are like, I want to make this my full-time job, or I want to get to our bonus, then get them on a text message strand with you and your leader and another leader or whoever, because it's just easier because not one person can do it all. So if you have other leaders and other people in Neora, someone can get the message going faster. Help them get their list together, help them get started the best by putting a list together, getting to launch parties, and understanding the concept of we want success fast, and getting launch parties makes that happen. It just does. Share the PSIF system, which is very easy. It's peak interest, share a tool, invite to an event, and follow up. That is the four things you do for every single person. And then defining their goals. I kind of went over this a little bit with the leaders, but defining what they want and not what you want. Because you can want it all day long for someone. You could think they could be awesome at this. Why aren't they working? Why aren't they doing this? But if they don't feel inspired, if they don't see the vision, then they will never do anything. And if they don't need the money, if they don't want the money, if they just want free product, like that is something that's hard as a leader to even, and sometimes even to know their vision, and they do need more and they do want more money, but they're not willing. So there's something there for that's them, and it's not you. So many times I hear from leaders like, what am I doing wrong? You cannot force anyone to work. You cannot force anyone to be inspired. You can lead them and you can meet them where they are, but at some point you have to let them go. And you have to realize this is a job, like any job. Again, at Starbucks, people don't show up from work. What? Oh my gosh, they're amazing. Why aren't they showing up for work? You get worried, like, are they okay? All those things are completely normal and they happen in this job too. Let them know. So as a team, if you get three brand partners and they get three customers, you get a $200 bonus, and it is actually double trip volume for that this month too. There is a $1,000 builder's block sheet in Habits House. That's always a great way just to like pique people's interest of like, did you know you can make $1,000? This is how you do it. Let's lay it out for them, right? And then ask them when they plan to fit Neora into their life. So, what I mean by that is so many people they want to do this, they have vision, they have dreams, they've told you these things, but then they never find the time to work. Because we are no boss, we have to be somewhat self-motivated, but if you do have a time that you're going to work, you could ask them, when do you think you're going to be able to work it? Well, probably when my kids go to bed. What time's that? Around 9 o'clock. You could somewhat text them around 9 o'clock. Hey, I was just sending out this text message, thought it would be helpful for you too. And just kind of pique their at the beginning, especially because they're trying to get that rhythm going. They're trying to figure out when they're going to fit this in their life and what they need to do during that hour. Because some people will just look at their phone and be like, what do I do? What do I do? So, just kind of guiding them at the beginning to get that first sale. And that's why those launch parties are so darn important because they do get them excited. So this is the end here, some tips, and I'm always, always happy to talk to you guys afterwards about any of the things that we went over. But I want to do these calls more often because there are so many new leaders that people that have teams that I just haven't done them in a while. So I want to get back at them. So you can't make anyone work. Some will, some won't. So what? Someone else is waiting. And that's kind of what I was talking about. You can't let that get you down. Keep growing yourself because people will quit. And it's the truth. Just keep growing. Um, who got you to one rank will not get you to the next rank. I said that earlier too. Focus your leadership on the new brand partners getting started. So as your team starts growing bigger and bigger, you're going to want to be in the grassroots. All of those new brand partners that got on your team have a lot of connections, and those helping them get started first will continue to grow and flourish your team. Even when you're higher in ranks, still use three-way calls and three-way tools, third-party tools. That's what I meant. Like don't ever think, oh, I know what I'm doing. I don't need a call because it is just that validation. It's like literally science. It's so weird. People just need that second tool of a validation. Building your team up and getting them to the next level is a win-win, right? So if you want to get to the next level, it's all about helping them succeed and get them to the next level, gets you to the next level. It's a beautiful thing. Don't compare your today to someone else's tomorrow. So that's so easy to do on social media, just in our personal life, but just not comparing where they're at. Oh my gosh, they started at the same time I am, and they're already at team director. They already got someone to team director. How in the world they do that? If anything, that's when you message them and be like, hey, girl, we started at the same time. Please tell me what you're doing, And we are such a community that is so helpful. So just, don't compare because you have your own journey too. Utilizing placement suite. And I know this is a big one. I know a lot of people probably have questions. So once you start getting a team of three or more, and if people are placed under you, that counts. But I can't go into placement hugely right now because it is a thing. And I absolutely love placement. It is so brilliant and genius, and utilizing it can really help you and your team. But once you get three and you bring on a fourth, you have the capabilities at that time then to place people underneath people to help other people rank up, which in return helps you. So once you get that third or or that fourth or fifth person, um, it does matter. There are percentages that you can't go over to get to next ranks and stuff. So you don't want to like big leg. You do, it's awesome, but you do get capped out at that too. So you have to just be mindful when you are placing that you place strategically and you place under people that are working because it really helps motivate them. Like, okay, I know that she wants to get to the next rank. Let's put someone underneath her and let's help her promote. And then she's ecstatic. She then understands the placement suite. Oh my gosh, XYZ gave me this person. And a lot of times they don't talk to that person, you still work with them and stuff. But that's what's so nice is if you do continue to build, which you should, then you continue to place people underneath people. And sometimes you can do it without even getting out of placement suite. And you can have literally like $3,000 that you can that's a really good recruiting tool because you could go to someone that understands MLMs or someone that's business savvy entrepreneur themselves and be like, hey, not to go into big details, but I do have some volume that I can push underneath you that can rank you up to the next rank and get you that bonus faster. So I can go into more of that with you guys and kind of look at your business with you. So if you do have a question like, where should I place this girl? Just text me or Facebook message me or call me or something. We can figure it out. 23rd reports and share with them what they need. So many people do not know. One of the first trips I went to, actually, it was the first trip I went to. I was sitting they gave us like a free, it wasn't a spa, but it was like you could do cold therapy and hot sauna and all this stuff. And I was sitting in the sauna talking to Linda Lindsay, did not know who she was at the time. And she's high up in the company. And she gave me the best advice. And I obviously still use it today. But she said, literally, like, as you get bigger, like going through your reports and cheering people on, letting them know what they need, it is people just don't know. They're like, Oh my gosh, I didn't know I was that close to a rank. Oh my gosh. So like when the 23rd comes, obviously all of our ADOs have already processed. And so all of that afterwards is new volume. And so that is really where you can start looking at reports and seeing, like in the rank advancement report under leadership dashboard and report center, there's a rank up report that's really huge. There's a TTP, PPC, whatever that is, about like the 369 to get those bonuses. Like you can filter them and then you can just text them and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. We have a week left, XYZ, send out some samples, whatever, whatever. But it is so crazy how many people, just by you, again, you don't feel like you're a leader, but you are. People are watching you. People are seeing what you're doing. Your friends that aren't in this business are watching it all. And like that's why sharing stories about other people's successes, even if they're not even on your team, like people need and want this opportunity. And so people are watching you. And when you call them and give them just that little bit of encouragement that you don't think is a big deal, it is a big deal because they're like, oh my gosh, she said I didn't need that much. Let me look. And so it's just kind of being that inspiration for people and being, just looking at things in a little bit more detail that you might not be used to now. But as you become a leader, you start looking at things a little bit more detailed, and it's super fun. I love it. I love the whole report system towards the end of the month. It's very exciting time. So I think I have a little bit of time, which is crazy because I was going through this pretty fast, thinking I was not going to have a lot of time to kind of close it up and see if you guys have any questions. I would love to help answer them and see maybe if you guys placement questions, anything you guys have in regards to leadership.
I do. So with the placement, because it's great you said something about that because it just popped up on mine that I need to place someone. Um, can you do like a recording or something on how to do that, or do you want to help us the first one that we're trying to do, or how should we do that?
I think there are some old placement recordings that Givens has done. But I would love to, I can definitely talk to you one on one to kind of
Okay,
show you what it all means. And honestly, even like in a shared Zoom like this, me and you
okay,
can just personally talk and I can kind of show you the back
perfect.
office of how to do it.
Okay,
But really you want to help the ones that are building first.
that's what I was thinking. How do you determine that? Like, I mean, I know we can watch them, we can see what they're doing, but if, I mean, we're moving quick, so they're all kind of at the same place.
Hmm.
So what are some of the questions that you use to really help kind of determine
I
the
guess
quality?
like what their goals are. If like first ask them like what do they want out of this?
Uh-huh.
And you already kind of know their personalities. You know if they're go-getters or if they've had this is their, fifth job in the past 2 years, whatever. You kind of know those personality traits. And then I would just, once you pick from what they want
Uh-huh.
first, like who's ready to want something and how they're showing up. They might say they want something, but are they showing up to calls? Are they doing the things that they say they're going to do to get to become successful? So that's those are the things I would ask. And then hopefully you pick someone that is motivated and then you tell them, "Hey, I'm putting someone underneath you. Let's build to that next rank this month." And then that kind of motivates them and helps them too. Cool. Any other questions? Okay. Well,
I have
hope,
another one.
yeah.
Okay, so when we add them to habits, um, house, um, and they get in there and we do the milkshake, is that it? the milkshake thing, is that like an app? I'm still learning it all.
I don't
I'm
know.
like, is it a song? Isn't
Oh,
there
I know, right? I know. I'm like, whatever this is, it's like milkshake without the verbs or without the
okay.
or
I was so
the
confused. I was like, okay. But when they get in there, I know that they can start here. Are all of the videos, and I've done some of them, I haven't done them all yet because I'm still kind of taking my time learning some of this stuff too. But are they all in order? They just need to go through it the way that it's set up. Okay.
Mhm. Yep.
Okay.
And you know, if they're and then you can go back to them too.
Okay.
Like and watch them, rewatch them. But yeah, you know, there might be a placement suite video in Habit's house. I'll look there.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Any other questions? Well, showing up to go up, you guys are showing up. That is first and foremost, most you are leading by example. So keep doing what you're doing, and I'm excited. Just continue to, at the beginning with brand partners, it is a little bit tedious with spoon feeding. And so that's why I always like put them in groups with other people like leaders so you don't feel so overwhelmed with spoon feeding them because like even the groups that I'm in, of course, like I post the new start call in, I'm like, hey, don't forget tonight, you know, because I'm already doing it, so it's like you know, I can text people. I emailed all of the new brand partners before and was like, hey, it's on tonight. So, like, it is a lot at the beginning, but you really want to get these new brand partners up and going. That's why I'm doing all these new start calls and get them a win. You need to get them a win as soon as possible because, and that's why launch parties are so important because it gets them that win. And once they have a win, they are the first step to like being involved and wanting to do this because it's exciting. If they don't get their win, why would they do this? They don't see it. They don't see the vision yet. So that's like my biggest, I guess, thing when getting your team up and going is getting them wins the fastest. Okay, girls. Well, if you need anything else, let me know. And yeah, we'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.